Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah, yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Come on, come on. Come on, Mark Pope. Come on, Kentucky.
You know who? You know who's in there? No, it's like a
Untie the box.
Get somebody on the rest.
Kansas.
Is it?
Kansas.
He chose Kansas?
Kansas. He chose Kansas.
Get the freak out of here, dude. Really?
Well,
Oh my goodness, bro.
Next.
that I guess that's next. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, man.
Maybe that's why we got McBride today.
I bet it is. I bet that's. But
This is horrible, bro.
wow.
This is horrible, bro. Yeah, man. I have never been as upset about not getting somebody, bro. Oh,
Yeah, me neither.
bro.
But you know,
This is crazy.
this turned
bro.
into a therapy session.
It did.
Well, the thing
I
is
tell you,
now, what they need to do is step back, and then they got to see what players might take their names out of the NBA draft.
Yeah, but that's exactly why they announced McBride before this happened, because they knew.
Maybe, and I think
Oh, my
maybe
goodness,
maybe we can get Morton, and then look at another player that takes their name out of the NBA draft, and but this. I like me and Miss Lee talk. This is going to make or break Bill Self or Mark Pope. Now, right now, Mark Pope is going to have to step back and reconsider and figure out what's going on, because if we do not get one good star player, because right now I heard Otega will not be back because of the
they will not let him come back.
Yeah, so he's going to have to go for a player coming out of the NBA draft that takes their name out, and then he's going to have to reconsider and see if he gets one or two more players out of this portal.
This is wild, bro.
We are not. I mean, okay, not one game of the season's been played yet. The season's not even here. I've seen teams do great with people you wouldn't think would be that great, but we just have to say that, hopefully we'll be able to put together a good team. And honestly, if you ask me if I'm surprised he picked Kansas, I was hoping he wouldn't, but I'm really not surprised.
I'm not really surprised either, because everybody was saying it was Kansas. And I was thinking that Kentucky might have had the advantage with Nike, and that Kentucky had a lot of money to put at him. I think, it was just a different situation, and Pope just didn't get the deal done. But, there's still advantages of not, I know we lost him, but there's still advantages. He can still get about 3 or 4 good players out of the portal and maybe get another player, international or something like that. But that's all iffy right now.
So let me ask the question: man. Is this more a reflection on who Coach Pope is as a coach, as a recruiter? Does this also mean that Jamal Crawford is not coming to Kentucky after all? I mean, it's these are the kind of situations that when you look at it, a lot of people are going to look at, and they already started in the comments, which is okay with me. They've already started in the comments, and you can tell this is Pope. Nobody wants to play for Pope. Pope doesn't develop people. Pope doesn't do this. That's why I asked a question early off in the video. Are people rooting against Coach Pope so this can be another tool or another avenue. It's the same way with Stoops. People wanted Stoops to lose so that can be another bullet, so they can say, "I told you so." Get this guy out of here. And this is not getting Stokes. This is just another example of saying,
Yeah.
"See, I told you he can't get the big people here. Get rid of this guy."
Right. I believe that he picked Kansas because it's a Hall of Fame coach with a proven track record. I believe that.
But that's saying I don't want to play for Coach Pope though. That's essentially what that's saying though.
but,
I don't want to play for him.
But at the same time, we also have to start thinking: does JMI have a part of this? Is JMI part of the reason that we're losing recruits?
I don't know, man.
Or is it just Pope in the staff?
But then, but then, go ahead, Jimmy.
I mean, JMI is supposed to be taken care of. We had the money set aside for the Kraft family. Yeah. We had $2.4 million between Nike. Yeah. So if he turned down $12 million, it's got to be something that he did not like at Kentucky. And it might have been that he wanted to play for a Hall of Fame coach, Kansas tradition and all that. But I'm right now. I'm kind of glad that it's all over. And then right now, it's Bill Self has got to put up with his antics and everything that he's going to be doing for playing basketball for the next 9 months.
Well, I sure wish it was Kentucky dealing with his antics.
Well, I mean, right there. Yeah,
but,
me too.
But here's the thing, man. I mean, like as you just said, Jimmy, JMI issue was supposedly has been taken care of. Yeah. So what's going on? So can we really say it's JMI?
Well, I mean, we got NJ. We talked to him one day, and the next day, all of a sudden, he signs a deal with Kentucky, and he has a 2-year contract of $4.3 million for 2 years for 2 years, and then he has a buyout for 1 year, and
he goes to the NBA.
And then if he goes to the NBA, the money for that second year he does not get.
Okay.
Right, and can I say something? Okay, so I have to say this. This is my opinion. Okay. So a guy is a 5-star coming out of high school. Okay, just hear me out. Stars don't mean crap to me, and I'll tell you why. You are ranked a 5-star out of high school kids. We have seen it before. Just because someone is the top in high school does not mean they do well in college, because you get a kid playing against grown men that have been in the game and veterans, they don't always do that well. So stars, 5-star, 4-star, 3-star, don't mean squat to me, just because of the fact that you can get a 3-star player that's out there busting his butt and playing better than any 5-star because he wants it more. He appreciates it more. And they're not arrogant. They just want to play. So I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up on Pope or this team. We haven't even had a practice yet. What am I worried about?
Yeah. But this is I don't follow recruiting like this because of disappointing moments like this. It's always good when we get somebody. But this hurts because this right here was a chance for Coach Pope to get an NBA guy that's knowing, unless he gets hurt or unless something tragic happens, this guy has a chance to be a lottery pick next year. It's hard to pass on a guy like this. Now we didn't pass on it, so I should say it's hard to lose this type of guy. But we got to understand something. Pope this is untouched territory for Coach Pope. He's never been here before, and I feel like he put everything he had into this, and it didn't work for him. So now we got to look at him as a coach and says, okay, how do you pick yourself up? You just spent the last 10 months or whatever it was recruiting this guy, giving everything you had towards him, and you don't get him. So now how do you mentally rebound from that and able to adjust and able to make lateral moves? This is a tough loss. Now a lot of people are not upset about it because a lot of people never believed he was coming to Kentucky anyway. So it's not necessarily, but it's one of those things where you kind of know that he's not coming to Kentucky, but once you finally hear it, it still stings, and it still says my head coach here at Kentucky still can't get it done.
Right. I'm not making any snap judgments because the season's not
Yeah,
even here yet. We
yeah.
don't know he can't get it done. How do you know
Well,
this team might not turn around
I
and go to Sweet 16 or Elite Eight or
well,
Final
I'm
Four
not.
or win it?
But I'm not talking about going far in the tournament. I'm talking about landing the big fish,
Oh,
landing the big guy, and
hey,
he can't do it. He hasn't been. He's
okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
well,
if these
yeah,
guys are basing it on the last 2 years, let him
I
have a
understand.
big year this year, and that could change.
Oh, absolutely. And I say this, and Jimmy, you after this. I say this. This is a year that if we're healthy, then he's got to do something extremely special. Because if we healthy, and if we got somewhat of a solid team, and even though they're older guys, if we got this team and he can't find a way to develop this team into getting far in March, I never called for a head coach job. But let's be real, something will have to be evaluated because the Kentucky fans, they would never ever accept this type of basketball play here at Kentucky. They just won't. Call me wrong, call me crazy, but and I understand people gonna say that the Kentucky brand is not nearly what it was, and I said that the Kentucky brand is just not what it used to be, and people are going to have to accept that. We're not competing for this right now. We're not, but we better find a way that we start competing for this because people are getting antsy and people are sitting on the hot seat because they want Coach Pope gone out of Kentucky.
You and I agree that something has to
Yeah,
change, and we need to get back to what we used to be. We
yeah,
need to get back to being the team that was feared, the team that everybody
yeah,
wanted to go to because they wanted to go there,
yeah.
not because of how much money are you going to give me. It needs to go back to the front. And I think
yeah,
that a lot of things need to change in order to get those players. But honestly, I'm the one that kept saying I'd rather have veteran players out of the portal than to have freshmen.
yeah.
So
Uh,
that's
Well, I mean,
that's where I'm at with it.
I
yeah.
mean, the way I'm with it too is okay. We've got veteran players that's coming in out of the portal right now, and everybody is like a 4 year player, and they got 2 more years, or I mean, coming in as a sophomore juniors. We got great players coming in. He needs to go out and look at the transfer portal right now for another great player and then wait to see if there's any players that's coming back out of the NBA and not going to pro, and then work from there. We got McBride today. If we get Morton, then that's 2 players. That gives us up to 12 players. Then you get to 13 players with a good player coming out of the portal or a player that maybe comes back from the NBA and takes his name out of the draft. I mean, he's got a lot of options. I mean, I know losing Stokes today hurt, but he needs to regroup and check off the boxes and get back into the rhythm of being get this back into the rhythm of what I know it ain't been a rhythm of Kentucky in the last 2 years, but it needs to get back into the rhythm that Kentucky is used to.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
And
I,
and
And
I
I
I
don't want any freshmen at all. I'm just
yeah
saying
I
there are
don't want
other freshmen out there that we don't have to put all our eggs in one basket. Yes, it would
yeah,
have been nice to get the number one player, but there are other good freshmen. The number one player isn't always the best player. I'm just saying,
yeah,
until you get on the floor,
yeah.
we don't know.
yeah.
That's true.
I
Well,
mean
here's the yeah. Go ahead, Jimmy.
he might go to Kansas and he might do the same thing as Darren Peterson did. Play a
Yeah,
half a game and take his name out and say, "Take me off the court. I don't want to play anymore." He could be like, I don't know. I hope he's not like that type of a player. But
yeah,
if he is, I'm glad we didn't get him. But I think he's going to be a good player at Kansas, and I wish him all the luck and everything. But I'm not going to talk bad about him. But I still think we've got a lot of good options that we can do between now and June.
Well,
Yeah.
it's me once again, me not being someone who follows this a whole lot. When I look at that as when I look at who may be left, and I'm on the outside looking in, I just don't see any big time superstars that can that's willing. There's Jimmy. You said that there's a lot of people that there's still a lot of people out there in the portal or that can come back and withdraw from the drive.
Yeah.
But what guys is really interested in really coming to Kentucky? And I hate to ask that question because I love Kentucky, but I'm being real with it. What guys are willing to come to Kentucky right now? The money's there now because you open up that big pot of money. The money's there for us to pay maybe two more solid people, split that in half and do it. But at the end of the day, I'm just like I just don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Hey,
to offer the kind of money
yeah.
that we're offered and not getting the recruits that we're hoping to get, that is a problem. And,
Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason. The reason needs to be figured out, whether it's athletic director, whether it's coach, whatever the breakdown is, needs
Yeah.
to be figured out. Now, if we do well this year, okay, all people that are saying Pope is an idiot, Pope can't coach, whatever, then that'll change. However, if he doesn't, then maybe it's time to make changes that need to be made. Like, I'm not saying, yeah, November 10th, we play Kansas, I think, in the Champions Classic.
Yeah.
There you go. Here we go.
Yeah.
Then. Yep. We get our chance.
Yep.
For real. So just one of them scenarios that that it's gonna sting. But we have to put on our big boy and big girl pants, and we got to go on with our life, and we got to be able to see what everyone's watching Coach Pope after this moment, and what do you do? And it's a major question mark as far as what Coach Pope does after this. We don't know what he's going to do after this. We don't know his capabilities. We just know that he's putting everything in to certain players, and it's not paying off. And because of that, a lot of people, the narrative will continue to be, and you can call me crazy, you cannot like me, whatever you want to do, it doesn't matter. But a lot of people are going to continue to say, "I told you so." Coach Pope is not the guy that needs to be here at Kentucky. I'm not rooting against Coach Pope. I want him to be successful. But there's a lot of people out there that they needed this to happen. They needed him not to get this guy because they want him out the door. And for them, that's just more fighting bullet points for them. It's like he cannot get it done. Get somebody in here that can get it done. And right now, Coach Pope is not getting it done right now. But hey, I'm still riding blue. I'm still a Kentucky fan until I die. Don't get me wrong.
me too.
I'm just, we're just all hurt because this is a guy that we really wanted, and we spent so much. Well, you guys spent so much time recruiting or following, but at the end of the day, we're gonna wake up tomorrow. Life's still gonna be good, and we're gonna go on with our life and hope that Coach Pope can get somebody in here that can turn this around. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
So, appreciate everybody joining. My broadcast stopped recording probably about 20 minutes ago. So, but you guys
it popped up on my screen.
Also, yours is still then, huh?
No, it just popped up
Okay.
that you stopped recording.
Okay, so I'm not sure if I'm even going to be on here or not. But
You're
you guys
on.
can still hear me, so we good.
Still here.
I just got the box up in the middle of my screen, so I can barely see you guys. But anyway, man, look, we didn't get in. We got to regroup. We don't have any names, and see that's the problem with getting, we're going all in on a guy like this. The only name out there that maybe we can still talk about right now is Morton. People says we got him. Some people says we didn't. So at the end of the day, we just gotta wait and see now. But this Tyran Stokes thing is in the books now. I'm not going to use the word grieve over it, but we can be angry, we can be sad, we can be upset about it. But as Kentucky fans, we're gonna have to move on. Kansas got their guy. That's who they wanted. Bill Self got who he wanted. Coach Pope didn't, and Coach Pope has got to figure out a way to fix this. Otherwise, a lot of people are just going to continue to say with the narrative, See, I told you this guy doesn't belong here at Kentucky.
And like I said, the season isn't even here yet. I'm not going to try to prejudge anything.
Yeah. And I like J.C. Wilder says it's still 1,500 guys unsigned. So,
there's a lot of people in the portal right now. And then when the NBA draft, when they take their names back out, there's going to be a lot of players for that also. So that's going to be portal number 2.
But I'm still convinced, and somebody can tell me that I'm wrong. And I appreciate that there's still a lot of people, a lot of guys still left in the portal that's unsigned. And I know that we still got guys who are still waiting to come back from the NBA draft or not. But what guys is going to want to come to Kentucky? I think that's the bigger overlying picture that we need to take a hard look at. And which one of these guys is saying, well, I tell you what, if I don't go pro, I'm sure giving Kentucky a call. What guys is really doing that right now? Because while we still,
but maybe with Tyran Stokes not coming here, maybe we will get guys. Maybe there are some guys that don't want to play with him.
Yeah, well, I got the same agreement with Miss Lee. There might be more players that wants to play at Kentucky now that they know Tyron Stokes might not be in the equation, and there might be one player that takes his name out of the NBA draft, says, "Okay, I'll come back to Kentucky, or I'll come back and then I can play for Kentucky." But then there might be 1 or 2 players in the portal says, "Okay, I'm gonna come to Kentucky," and then we can make a 15-man roster.
Dude, I'm happy about the guys we've got. I really am, because I think that they will play well together. They already know each other.
Stay healthy.
I am excited. I am actually excited. I can't wait to see what happens. So,
I just want to see Kentucky playing great basketball. And I'm trying to get out of my vocabulary. I'm trying to get out of my mind of saying I want us to go back to playing like this. I just want us to learn to play in 2026, because that's where we at right now. They didn't deal. None of these teams deal with what we're going through right now. Now I know people was getting paid under the table. I get all that kind of stuff. People can tell me otherwise, but I really believe that. But in 2026. I just want to see what is Kentucky's identity, because we don't really have that identity yet. And look, I'm not trying to be negative, but look, I can come on here and I can do 10 videos a week and I can just say Kentucky's the best program, Kentucky has the best coach, Kentucky has the best players, Kentucky has the best gym. I can come on here and I can just do that all day long. But let's be real. We need transparency. We need realness. We need to be able to say we got issues in Lexington and we don't know how to get it fixed right now because we keep missing on the big people. We just do. And in 2026, we need to fix this. Yeah.
Well, I just believe that, some of these guys have played together. I just believe that we're going to be okay. I believe that, we haven't, in the past, it's not been great. We've had injuries, we've had things that have caused adversity, but I like this team, and we haven't played one game yet. We haven't even had one practice yet. So I'm going to keep faith. Good luck to Stokes at Kansas.
Yeah, absolutely. Good luck to him. Yeah. For me, it's just. Go ahead, Jimmy.
I believe the same thing. I hope he does good. I don't wish anything bad about, Stokes. But I still believe that this basketball team right now that we have, you add another couple players to this team, I think we're still going to be fine. We just got McBride. We got McBride. If we add Morton, we got shooters. All you have to do is surround, and we're going to have shooters, and we can play a spread 5. And when you're playing a spread 5, you're going to have, not a spread 5, you're going to have Moreno down low. You're going to have 4 shooters on all sides of the court. This is going to be where you can run that pick and roll, the bob and weave. You can just run that zoom offense that they ran when Kentucky played with Pope the first year, and then everybody is kicking and they're just hitting threes from everywhere. I mean, this could be a real good team. I'm not saying it's going to be a top 10 team, but I think it's going to be a good team that can contend and still get to Sweet 16, Lead 8. I think you add another two good players from the portal and maybe one player that's coming back from the NBA that takes his name out. We could get maybe a player like that. And that's the options that we have right now.
Well, we definitely need a big guy. We can't go into this season just relying on Malachi to be our anchor. I think I hope, like everybody else, I hope he makes a big jump.
We got Reese Potter. We got Reese Potter.
How strong is he? How much does he weigh? Is he going to be able to push those guys?
He's 7'2", 240.
Okay, well, I mean, I hope he's strong. I look, he played in, no disrespect to him at all. I'm glad he stayed at school, but let's be real here. When he gets on that floor, he's not playing against guys that he played against at Ohio. He's playing against the SEC. He's playing against Kansas. He's playing against Louisville.
Okay, we got Njai that's 6'11", and he's got a 7'5" wingspan, and he's going to be coming over and helping Malachi Moreno all the time, and he can come in and play the 5 spot if he wants to.
How much he weigh?
Right now, 205.
No,
but he can put on 15 pounds. Give him a cheeseburger or 4.
Okay.
But the thing is about him, he is all over the court. He's crazy. He's a pogo stick. He is way better than what you think Malachi Moreno. I ain't saying he's better than Malachi, but if he does play that part of the position as a 5, he's going to be able to come in and help out.
Dude, he does not. If you watch his highlights, he doesn't go for layups. He sets it down every time. Like
he dunks everybody.
Shooting layups. He's not going to be shooting layups that get missed. Like he is going to, So
Look,
I'm not saying that.
Look. I love both of y'all. You guys are awesome. But I'm gonna tell you right now, if we don't go out and get a big guy,
Reese Potter is not the answer.
No, he's not the answer.
Yeah, he's not the answer. Reese Potter is not the answer.
If we don't go out and get us another big guy, now I understand that's him, that's another big guy, that's Malachi, and that's Reese. I get all of that. But I'm sorry.
Prince wasn't a big guy.
I get that, but it's
scrawny, and look at him. Anthony Davis was not big, and look at him. But
it you know what? I like that argument. That's a good argument, and I'm not trying to be negative, but let's be real. We're gonna need people that's going to compete. Malachi found out that this is SEC basketball, that this is not high school basketball anymore, that this is the real thing. And here in the SEC, we're gonna get dirty, we're gonna get grimy. Which one of these guys is gonna fold? We need guys that ain't gonna fold when they get hit in the ribs one good time. We need guys that's gonna be able to go and not gonna be afraid to get 10 rebounds a ball game, because when they get through, they gotta go set it. They gotta go set in the ice bath. Is Malachi's gonna set? He's gonna get in foul trouble. Is Reese Potter? Is he gonna be able to take a shot to the rib? Is he gonna be able to go in there and get fouled one good time? And is he gonna fold? We'll see. We'll see. And I hope for the best for Kentucky basketball. I think after last year and getting so excited about what we had last year, and I know injuries was a big part of it, I completely understand that. And I want to see the best out of this team. But I still think that we need a real, true, certified big guy to back up Malachi. Because look, Reese Potter, according to everybody, he can shoot the basketball. So if he's a big guy that can shoot the basketball, he's gonna want to step out. Which means if he goes out there and he's taking a 3-pointer, then who's gonna be down there to rebound the basketball? I'm just a big guy. I'm just a big butt guy, as Ryan Lemon would say. I am. So we need those type of guys. But I'm definitely rooting for the best for these guys, and I hope that the guys that but Justin McBride, what is he? 6'8", 6'9"?
He's
What is he?
6'8".
6'10".
He's 6'8".
Oh,
You know what I'm
6'8".
saying?
I think he's
Yeah,
he's 6'8". But
so he got-
he's strong down low, but he can go out and shoot the three. And
Well,
he kind of reminds me of a Mo Diabate and a mix with I forget the player we had 2 years ago on Mark Pope's first roster. They could hit the
Williams?
three. Not Williams.
No, not William, because he can't hit the 3. Yeah.
But he's a mixture of both of those, and he can make the 3, but he can get down and muscle down for 6'8".
So McBride is 6'7", 240.
6'7",
Okay.
240. Yeah. Well,
Okay.
You can battle down low,
Yeah, a little bit, and
but
a
he
little
can
bit
still
into-
he still sits out and can hit the 3 though too.
But see that's going to be. I
And-
think that's going. Well, here's the thing. We'll get into all of what these guys can do in another video. But it's a little disappointing that right now. Well, we still got time. So Big Mike, relax. Don't panic.
Well,
Big Mike.
tomorrow night on
just
our
chill.
show, we'll go more into the guys that we've gotten.
Okay, that sounds good right there. Absolutely. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
But hey guys, I appreciate everybody coming through and hanging
We
out with us
appreciate you
tonight.
Yeah. Thank you.
Sorry that we
Hey,
did not.
And it's not our
Sorry,
fault.
yeah. Sorry that we didn't get the guy that we all
I didn't
tuned
do
in
it.
to see. Yeah, I didn't do it neither. So I wanted him to come to Kentucky, but he went to where he was, starring Tyran Stokes. So now we can just
Went to Kansas.
take that name and we can just move on with our life.
Move
as
on
well.
with it.
And-
Just glad it's over, honestly.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just
yeah.
glad
I
it's
am too.
over.
I'm glad it's
Yeah,
over.
just-
Yeah. I don't have to wake
Oh.
up in the morning and think about
No,
what is
Yes.
going on with
You're gonna
Tyron
get
Stokes.
18 messages saying, is he gonna commit today?
Yeah,
is he gonna commit today?
yeah.
I don't know.
that's,
I don't know. After 12 o'clock, I probably had 80 messages on my phone.
So I'm glad you guys got the messages. I appreciate that you guys got it. But anyway, man, thank you guys, everybody. Look, guys, we made history today. We had over 2,000 viewers at one time. The show has never hit that many before. So congrats to all you guys. I know a lot of those people probably wasn't Kentucky fans per se, but I know
Yeah.
a lot of you guys was. But still, thank you guys for coming through, hanging out with us. I can't end the show because my thing is, so Leah, you probably have to, if you're able to, Leah, you're gonna
I
have
can.
to end the show. But thank you guys. Leah, you want to take us out with the theme song, and then you
I
can,
sure will.
and then we'll
Let's do
close out.
this.
Yeah. Yeah. Check it out, it's the show. You know, crowd tightened up as we let the flow go. No fake hype, just real BBN talk. It's the loyal BBN fan show. Stand tall. First time you watch, you're a guest in the zone. Second time around, you're your family or home. So raise your hands, let's make it loud. BBN fans strong, we're here, we're proud.
Thanks,
Love you
guys.
guys.
See you tomorrow night.
Thank you.